Hi everyone, my name is Katie. Welcome to my page Red's Stitchery, and let's chat about cross stitching. I'm so excited to share with you my stitchy updates. I've been filming 3 parts, so 3 weeks I've been filming just dimensions cross stitch stash, but during this time I didn't really have stitchy mood. I don't know why, I just didn't. So whatever little progresses I have, I am ready to show you whatever I've been stitching for the past 3 weeks. We're going to start with small finishes. So I've decided if big projects is not my thing at the moment, let's shorten my stash on some smalls because when else to stitch them? If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that earlier this year, sometime in spring, I got an amazing packaging from home from Russia, and it was from my friend and one of the popular Russian independent designers, Oksana Yershova, and she gifted me some of her kits, which is forever grateful and thankful. And I finally got time and desire, I guess, to stitch smalls. So I finally have some smalls to show you that I've stitched by her. We're going to start with this gorgeous flower. All I'm gonna show you fully stitched, but none of them I have glued the felt yet because I still don't know what to glue it with. I haven't played with glues. I don't know what kind to use for it to stay but not to ruin the acrylic. So I still don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna show you like this, but no, it's not glued together yet. So the kits come like this. Everything that you need is inside, all the bits, the floss. There's some leftovers, but definitely not enough for a second stitch. And here is the result. I do like the way it looks without the felt. It looks more soft and elegant, but with felt, it's popping. I think eventually felt will be happening because there is a lot of beadwork, and I like to glue the backing so that way the floss also secured and it's not going to frog itself later on. Earlier in my stitcher updates in different videos, I showed you my first finish by Oksana was a turtle, and in there I used the white floss that comes in a kit to stitch the bead. From now on, I've decided I'm going to do what Mill Hill tells you to do, for example. It's to use the closest color of DMC to stitch the beads. So in this case, I used the dark brown DMC color to stitch the beads. Green, the same as a leaf, I used to stitch the beads over here, and then yellow, I don't remember exactly which one I used, but whatever, I think it was like the lightest yellow was in a kit, I used to stitch the beads. It's not focusing. There you go. I think you can tell how many beautiful sparkly beads is in this kit. This particular one has been my wish list, so I'm very happy that she gifted this to me. And I also love how this one has also like big beads in it. It gives it like an accent. So I do have a chart, obviously, because it's a kit, and I think I'm going to, unfortunately I don't have another acrylic form, but I think I want to stitch it again, but this time I want to use purple. So I forgot the name of this flower. In Russian it's mimosa. I don't know if in English it sounds anything similar. If I will, don't forget, I'll put the name somewhere over here. But I think if I will stitch exactly the same thing but in purple, it's gonna be basically a lilac, and I think it's gonna be a very cute pair. And also I was thinking about stitching it, of course someday. I always have so many plans but zero time, in pink, because there's a type of hydrangea that's growing the cone shape like this, and it's pink. So I think it would be cute to have exactly same design, just in different colors, but purple for sure. I think it would be cute addition, like a cute friend to have for this design, like a little lilac flower. So there we go. That's not alone that I stitch by her. I have more finishes. Next one would be a pine cone. So this one came in wood canvas, the backing is crazy. And you know what? So far, it's the hardest small project I've ever stitched. Brown on brown. My eyes were going crazy. That's why the backing looks like this. I was just, for some reasons, lost. Like the chart is super easy. Even in preview, it looks super easy. And overall, it wasn't that hard. But I spent the same amount of time to stitch in this project as I spent on this one. But also beads included. I did the same thing. I stitched the beads with the color of the floss that's matching. And that's why the leftovers of the floss is not as many as it would be. Because again, I didn't use the special floss, which is just a white floss for the beads. I use whatever color closest to the beads from the colors that use for crosses. So that's why leftovers of the floss is way smaller than it should be. But in my opinion, it looks more elegant. I kind of want one more, so maybe one day when I get there, I will get one more and then like put them on a chain and put them around the clock. I think it'll be a little like cute decoration for a whole year or just for the Christmas. Just have another one and put them like on a little chain and put them on the wall clock. I think it'll be very, very cute. But so far I have only one, which again, I'm grateful and thankful. Each kit comes with 2 needles. One is a regular size and one is super long. You see how different they are? And honestly, I just use this one for everything, for crosses and for the beads. Beads are preciosa and they easily go through this type of needle. Some people just like beading with the longer needles. It's easier, I guess, to collect the beads on a needle. And honestly, this is short needle for me because I have nails, but it's easier to stitch with that for me, so I just use one needle for everything on all these kits. So here's my second small finish by Oksana Yershova, and I really like how she does preview on the small kits or the charts. It looks like a card that you can gift, and then on the back there is a chart with instructions. It's not all. I stitch a little bit more. Same type of the small project, and even this one I stitch way faster than I stitched this one. I forgot the name in English of this bird, forgive me, but it's beautiful winter bird. And again, lots and lots of beads. And again, I did the same thing. I used whatever closest color and DMC to attach the beads. And this one, as you can see, was stitched on acrylic. And again, I haven't glued anything yet. And the backing on this one looks way better than the backing on this one. Look at it. How frustrated I was here and how organized I was here. But it's okay. Okay, I did it. There we go. We gotta make a room for one more small finish that I have to show you. From the same type of collection of the smalls, that preview looks like a card, and it's a house decorated for Christmas. Also stitched on wood canvas. And if you look closely, the windows are stitched with gold metallic. That it tells you to stitch with gold metallic, but it was not in the kit. I don't know if you do need to get it yourself or just got the kit there was missing, but it's not a problem because my stash is huge. I have this huge, like look at this, abnormal size of this pulley, and when you cut the floss, it separates in 6 little flosses, so I just separated and used it. And now the windows are glowing with sparkles, and when I touch the like yellowish gold see-through beads, I also use the metallic floss, so it's matching. And I feel like, or maybe I'm just imagining it, it makes them glow more. It looks very cozy and very Christmassy, and again, there's so many beads in there. And again, this was stitched way faster than I stitched this one. I don't know why, but this pine coat took me quite a time to stitch. I don't know if I should count all 4 of this as one finish or 4 separate finishes. Don't know. We'll see, I guess, at the end of the year what I decided to do. But there we are, a little 4 finishes. I think it's better than not stitching at all. And also, I always like the time of Christmas comes, for example. I'm like, I never stitch any smalls during the year, and now I have nothing to decorate my Christmas tree with. So at least 3 new elements are now ready to be used in decoration. But yeah, here's my first 4 little finishes, and let's move on to see the progress on the rest of my projects. Rioles, if you missed, I made a separate video just about this brand where I actually opened this kit with you and showed you how I start the kits and how I work with wool acrylic. So if you're interested, go into my Flosstube and check it out. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to do progress on it, but I did some. It is a huge project. There's almost 50,000 stitches in here. So slowly it's getting stitched and I'm very excited about it. So I moved to this part right here and I started from the middle. And I think you can definitely tell, right? That's that part. And that's the bricks with some back stitching already done. It is very interesting project. There's so many blends, so many color changing. So it's not just like you're taking one color and just filling it in. No, it's very detailed. It's very interesting. And I do enjoy the blends. I think so far my favorite, the one that surprised me the most, it's that brown with green. It's very interesting choice. It's just sprinkled there just a little bit. It's not too much, but it kind of makes sense that something green will grow on this wall because there's water, there's sun, you know, everything, the flora and the fauna is there. So it's kind of cool detail that by looking on a preview you would not notice. So it's very interesting stitch. I am enjoying it, slowly stitching it. Yeah, so here's my small progress on that. I have to raise my camera to show you this project. This is Angel of Summer by Lavender and Lace. I don't remember at what point it was the last time I showed it to you, but I am slowly progressing on the dress part right here. So what I've been working on, just connecting all of these elements, and I think there's a little bit more of the dress left, and then this part is done. There's more of her, this like bow and ribbons left, and then there's also more of the girl and this she's holding. And then finally I'm gonna move to her torso, face, and wings. But yeah, this part is almost done, except the beads. In this kit, I do keeping them for last, just because there's so many of them. It'll be easier for me to do all the beads at the end all together. It's super easy stitch. There's nothing very hard or difficult, except maybe the garland, because there's lots of group single stitching. But this part, you just grabbing a color and you're filling it up. The color 819, the lightest pink that you see the most, if you will decide to stitch this kit, just know you need like 10 of those like separate Moulinet flosses, because I keep buying more and more and I seem like always running out of it. Unfortunately, I didn't count how many by now I already used, but at least 5 for sure. I think I am on my 6th, but also the original chart should be stitched on a 32nd count, and I should say probably the original idea. The idea of designer, she suggested for us to stitch it on a 32nd count, and I'm stitching on 28. The difference, not much, but there it is. So the amount of the floss you're going to use, it's definitely going to grow up because the count is bigger. Other than that, there's literally nothing problematic, difficult, something that I would tell you like to pay closer attention to something, the garland probably is the hardest. I think you can tell it, like see it more here, because all the single stitching and all the group of stitching and like on the back, it looks, I did do a longer steps in there because I'm not gonna floss, fix that floss every single time. Where here, super easy. You just taking a color and you just stitching it row by row. And yeah, I don't think, I will try to finish her by the end of the August, but I doubt it. I think she is going to be moved to September also. But I do want to finish her, and I don't think I'm going to start the next angel this year because this is a huge project. And be honest with you, this was not difficult, but I kind of got tired because I do work on her at least 5 days a week, and I got slower only because I'm kind of getting tired of this project. But I do definitely want to finish this till I maybe put it away for a couple weeks and return to her to finish the top and the wings. But it is, I've noticed my stitching speed kind of slowed down only because I getting tired just a bit of this project, because same colors, big group of stitching with one color, it's kind of tiring. At the same time, everything else I'm going to show you next, there's almost everything, little projects that you need to kind of sit and work through it, and maybe like couple hours and only 100 stitches are done, if that. So it's kind of nice to have those projects to switch in between, something super easy and like next project a little bit more complicated. But overall it is very enjoyable, it's fun, it's pretty, I like it, and I'm hoping by the end of the September it's gonna be a finish. I knew this video going to be short, but I didn't expect it to be this short because we're almost done. My Chatelain miniature dragonfly tile, and I finally finished, in my opinion, the hardest part, which is petite stitch dragonflies, back stitch and all of it. They are finished. Look at them, tiny little dragonflies. I also want to try to finish this project this year, so no matter what kind of season it is, because I am trying to stitch seasonal stitching this year, I am going to move it till the end of the year because I am so close to the finish. Basically, I just really need to keep working on crosses and special stitches like right here, and the beads I'm going to keep them all to last because I think there's around like 1,000, I want to say 1,000. Okay, I open my saga up a little bit less. There is 700 beads left, and in crosses only 684. Most of it is a decorative stitch and back stitching. So I'm very close to be finished. All of it together, it's around 8,500, let's round it up, stitches. But let's be honest, the hardest part about this mandala, and I think more mandalas in the future, it's the small groups of color and constantly fixing the floss without an opportunity to drag it a little bit farther because it's not a full stitch. So for example, these petite dragonflies, I want to say there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or maybe 8 colors in one. So you do 2 stitches, like for example, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a tiny little stitches of like green teal color. You do those 2, that's it, you're fixing the floss, you're moving on to that one. So that's what took me the longest. Also, do you know what, like, do you have any ideas what you look at these little dragonflies? Do they remind you anything? For me, yes, because I remember when I was a kid, I love collecting stickers, and some stickers, you know, they come like on a see-through with gold sparkles around it. So for me, those little dragonflies, they look just like those stickers with like gold border around them. I don't know why, but it was first like idea that came to my mind when I saw them, like, oh, they look like a stickers that were in my childhood or something. I don't know. My favorite part to show you, it's the beads in the middle. But anyway, I've done the hardest part. Everything else, it's just like I need to move on to these corners. For example, over here I'll show you all the special stitching. I kind of started over here, but you seen last time, and I have 2 more corners, and looks like I might have to move my fabric because I don't think I have enough space over here to work on these 2 corners over here. But 60 or 61% is done. I do want to try to finish it as soon as possible. But what happened is I started 2 new starts besides those smalls that I just showed you, and those kind of took my time for other stitching besides the projects that like I must stitch because I'm participating in sales. So let's move on to 2 new starts that I started during this past 3 weeks. Starting with this one, it might looks like nothing, but let me show you the preview. It's by designer Verdanta, I think her name is. Let me see if it's shown in Saga, her name. Yes, it's by Verdanta. I found it on my bobbin, but I also follow her on Contacte. And this day she released snippets of like her new design, which was this one. I knew immediately I have to have it. I was waiting for it like crazy. I mean, I was updating it daily to make sure it's been released. Finally, it is, and it's, look at this gorgeous romantic night. Isn't it just amazing? Fairy tale, fantasy books, everything. I am obsessed. The second she posted it, I've been updating her page almost like daily. I even reach out to her like, hey, please tell me that you're going to post it on my bobbin. She said yes. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So you can easily find it on my bobbin if you want to. But I knew the second she posted like not finished preview yet, she still like have to do some little details in there and like clean it up. I knew I have to have it, so I've been waiting, updating my bobbing like almost daily to finally it's been uploaded there and I purchased it. So only 9% so far is done. As you can see, I started from the top, from the sky, and some of the blue colors already gone, meaning like I remember all these blues that use right here, that's the only spot where they use. So the bobbins already been put back in the stash, and they're not gonna be repeating in this chart anymore. I'm stitching it on 16th count Ida. I don't know what brand it is. I just got a huge cut from Amazon. There's no fourth stitching. There's no weird back stitching. There's no beads, nothing. It's just full cross stitch project. Classic. I love it. No special stitching, nothing. And here's my start. You can see the shape of the future knight over here. I don't know if you can call him a knight. Is that the name in English? A knight? I don't know. For me, it's a knight, okay? And I decided to keep him for later. I want to reach another corner and kind of like match it and then finally move on to him. Maybe I will move on to him a little bit sooner because what I've been doing over here, I honestly have been doing my favorite thing, which is grabbing the color, making sure I'm running out of it from the project, finishing this color completely, and then moving on to next one. There's already a couple colors, I think, like these grays, they are going to be in him also. So maybe I will start slowly on building him too, because that's like the most exciting part. But I do want to finish the sky, the background as far as I can, to like moving on to him, just because I know it's the most interesting part. I want to keep it for last. So just teaching this, you know, sometimes you don't want to like stitch what's not not that important, but like not as interesting, not the main character. So I am trying to fill up the background a little bit for now, and then finally move on to him and roses and all of that. But yeah, here's my tiny little start. As always, I use my favorite Nurge hoop, and I think it's not the largest one, but second to large. I think it's number 2 or something. I don't quite remember, if to be honest with you. And yeah, here's my start. I was like so obsessed over this project. I'm slowly stitching it. I set up a goal on Saga to stitch a % of it, like every time I stitch it. And the last time I grabbed it, I kind of overdid it. So, but look, isn't it gorgeous? Look at the rose, the sky, the details. Like, oh my goodness. And this, it's glowing, so pretty. Yeah, so I'm very, very excited to keep working on it. And we'll show you more progress in the future. What's kind of cool, it's the first project where I'm going to use numbers of DMC 1, 2, and 3. I've never used them before. And I think the 3 is already right here. The 4, I think it's one of these grays I used before. Now 1, 2, 3, I haven't. So it's kind of fun to use those for the first time. And hopefully, eventually, I will put more progress in it and I will able to show it to you. Okay, it is going to be probably the shortest video I've ever filmed. But I've been just working on these projects, slowly putting progress more and more in it, and then I don't have much to show, but better than nothing. Okay, so I did another start. I got this kit by Reflets the soie last year, and then like a week ago, I catch myself on looking for more kits by this brand. And of course I found them, I add them to my cart, and I'm like, Katie, stop. You have one you got last year and you haven't even started it yet. How about we're going at least start this one, and then if we will fall in love with this project, we will continue building our stash. Let's at least try it, okay? So this conversation was inside of my head. I agree with myself, of course. Talking like a crazy person. So I came home the same day and I decided to start on this project. This is Bescarnot Etoile. Etoile? I don't know. I learned French way back in university and I completely forgot all the rules. Here's my start. And let me tell you everything what's going on here just in a minute. First of all, I'm using my box for organizing the beads. It works great because over here I'm keeping all the beads. And it's very important to know, I think, because I kind of space it out, and I'm very happy that I didn't buy more kits, even though something tells me in the future I will. So you do stitch with this petite beads. It's not full size, it's petite beads. You see the size is 15. And the fabric of 28 and 32nd count will not work because the space between them going to be huge. And you're not gonna get same results. At least that's what they say in the pamphlet that comes with it, the instructions, and I trust them. And if you watch my cross stitch haul, I think I shared with you that I got this fabric for one project, but I accidentally purchased 2 cuts of this fabric. And happily, I am now using it for this project right here because I don't have any other cuts of 36 or 35 count. So this is 36 count smoke blue Edinburgh linen. And I don't have any the designer recommend to use 35th count. I didn't have any. That's the only 36 count I do have, so I'm like, I knew it. I knew I bought it for a reason. The reason found me. So I've decided to use this fabric for this project. And I think I filmed a little video, and I'm going to put a clip right now, right here, if I still have it. So there's the start. And here I tried different method. And I like it way more than this. But basically what happened, I've started stitching it as I always would stitch, which is using a half stitch and just fill it in a row by row. I brought you to show you the mill heel that I did earlier this year, and this one I actually stitched on a 25th count because over here the main amount of the beads are big beads, and only in between there here will be petite beads, but the rest it's a regular size beads. And I stitched them all half stitch like I normally would, and you can tell that my egg went this way. And it's interesting, in instructions to this kit, it does tell you that when you're going to finish the project, there's a very high possibility your project going to be crooked because you're using half stitch. And when you're going to finish it to make it FFO, you will make sure that you kind of stretch it in right directions to make it even. That doesn't bother me even when I'm going to FFO this egg and then more from this collection. I'm just going to stretch them the right way because I checked it. In this particular egg, everything's stitched just like it's supposed to. I didn't make any mistakes. It's completely symmetrical. But because you use half stitch, it is kind of leaning to the left. So when I'm going to stitch it and make 2 pin caps, I'm gonna stretch it the right way. I knew I'm going to face something with this also, so it didn't bother me. I'm like, I will figure it out when I stitch it. But what happened is I completely finished the first row. I move on to the second, and the beads starting pushing each other. They would not lay flat whatsoever. It looks just a clump of beads, and I'm like, well, I guess I will have to place another order and get myself 35th count, because I guess there's a huge difference between 35th and 36th count, because my beads would not lay pretty at all. And then I'm like, well, since I'm already started it, there's something in the fabric, I am going to try the way when you lay one bead vertically, horizontally, vertically, horizontally, and we'll see what's going to happen. And you know what happened? This. Perfectly straight beads. This is so satisfying. I don't know. I hope you can see it. Maybe look at the darker colors. You can definitely tell the pattern, right? I'm doing horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. So never 2 verticals or 2 horizontal next to each other. They always like in that pattern. It does take a lot of time, especially because I'm using UL floss, which is invisible floss, so it's very easy to make mistakes, or the floss itself very like liquidy, not silky, what's the name of it, like slides even between each other. So that takes a lot of attention. I have to use my funny magnifying glasses because it's a beadwork on a 36 count. I have to use all the lights around me that I have, like so many things. There's 2 evenings in here, so it's gonna be a project that's gonna last me forever. So I'm very happy that I decided not to get, as for right now, any other kits by this brand, just because I don't think I can do it. My eyes do not like small count. Even with magnifying glass, it's maybe my setup is not comfortable, but I my arms getting super tight, my eyes getting super tight, my neck getting super tight because I have to like be close to the project in particular position. So I'm very happy that I had that conversation with myself and I was able to stop myself from purchasing more, and we're going to finish this project first and then finally maybe purchase more. But now I know for sure if I will purchase something else from the Beaded collection by Reflets de soie, I'm going to pick the most amazing must stitch kit, not just like random mini kits or something, because it is quite a work, I will tell you that. I will show you life hack that I love to use and it kind of speed up my process. Not all beaded kits you can use it with, some of them just not logical to use this method. I showed you in the past that I absolutely love the sticky mat for the beads, like for example Mirabilia or any other project when you're going to have different color of the beads that must be stitched one after another. But when you're working with the beads that, for example, when I was working with this row or with this like a white color beads, it's just same color, right? Instead of the reaching out, the sticky mat is an amazing option. That works too. If you figured it out your way to work with that, great. But the method that I absolutely love for the bead work, when it's one or maybe two colors max and you just need to get a good speed control and everything, so you take a tape, regular tape. Unfortunately I didn't have regular tape, I have something like this and it's not perfect because it's very sticky and it leaves a residue on the beads so I need to get myself a normal tape. But you take a tape and you, yeah, I'll just show you on the new one, cut a piece. Oh my goodness, I don't know where I got this tape and what it's originally needed for, but I wanted to start the project and I needed a tape. Sticky part, you keep it on top. Not sticky part, you lay on your finger. You roll it around, you tape it, and now the sticky part is on top, right? It's right here. With a regular tape or any other tape, I like to do like this to take all the glue extra. And then I take my beads, I go like this. Make sure you tap, and if any there are loose beads, they fall off so we don't lose them. And now all the beads is right here on your hand. So when you're going to work, like it's usually, for me at least, it's in a hoop holder, so I have both hands, I'm stitching with two hands. And all I need to do, I just go like this. I grab the bead, I stitch it on with the other hand coming back, so I don't need to reach out anywhere. It's literally always right here. So I'm just grabbing the bead and I'm working with that. I think if you maybe holding your hoop, you kind of can hold it like this. It's just your wrist and finger will get tired. But this is truly speeding up the process. And your beads are always like right here, right in front of you. You don't need to reach out anywhere. You don't need to reach on your table. Or like maybe the sticky mat, the project is so small, there's no place to place it. So try the tape life hack. If you haven't yet, if you now work with the beads, it's honestly like my favorite one of. And before I got sticky mat, that's how I would stitch with the beads. Technically, you can stick here as many beads as you want, but it's just easier when you only need couple colors. Because if you need many, you will have to like, okay, I need 3 of these, 2 of this, and it's time consuming. Just get yourself a sticky mat, put it some kind of metallic box, or just use like the lid from like sauces, whatever, and put in a magnet, stick it to your fabric. That's what I do with sticky mats. This really helpful, like 1-2 colors. So I'm working here right now. The main color, it's the see-through or like the white one. So I would put the white beads on a thumb or on a finger like this, and then I would just reach out for the single colors that I do need alone with that. So here is my favorite thing, and because like you tap it on your skin, there's no glue left on the beads. This one is stuck very good. So it's all gonna be okay. There's shouldn't be any damage to anything. Definitely like try couple. Make sure your tape would not leave any like glue residue. It shouldn't. Don't repeat me. I don't know what kind of tape it is. Oh, it's mailing tape. Okay, it's probably not the best idea. But the regular, just like office desk tape will work the best. And then you just take it off and you're all good. Now let's come back to this project. I was worried about some colors not showing, especially this one. I actually already put 2 beads right here. It's kinda, you can see, but not really. I think the fabric that was used on preview was definitely white or some kind of cream color. And again, I didn't have any in my stash. I wanted really to start the project, and I really like using what I already have in my stash. So I think blue and blue, very monochromatic. I think, is that a word? I don't know. I think it looks pretty. So far I have no issues, no problems. I'm absolutely okay with that. This row I'm slowly picking apart when I need this color in the project, so I'm just picking it from here. But yeah, here is my very tiny start, but believe me, there's so much effort to put in it. And I think it's a great idea if you're ever working with beads and beads are two pushing each other. Try this method where you put one bead vertically and another one horizontally. And the way I do it, just in case if my explanation is not great because it's such a small fabric and I cannot really show you, but let's imagine that's your regular squares, and if you would do uneven weave the cross stitch, right, you will go here, here, or whatever direction you do. Any other work with beads, like for example I show you with the egg, I would do from corner to corner and basically a half stitch with just the bead in the middle. What I do now, because I put one bead vertically and one horizontally, if I need to put bead vertically, meaning the bead goes like this, I will start from here and go on top over here, so the bead gonna be like this. Next one is horizontally, so I'll come out from the middle over here and put the bead like this, and so on and so on. So I don't go in the corners, I go in the places in between the corners. So I go like this instead of from corner to corner. I don't know if that helps. Definitely try it out if you ever in a situation where your beads are so pushing each other, there's no, like, you don't know what to do, you kind of feel frustrated. Try this. And this beautiful start, I'm going to finish this video over here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Not much progress, but better than nothing, I think. Because again, I lately just not in a stitching mood, especially like last couple 2 weeks. It was such a hot weather. I couldn't breathe. I was just wanting to come home and just lay and wait till evening for a little bit weather to cool down to do anything at all. Everything was so heavy because it was so hot and my Siberian soul was melting. And yeah, I'm not doing great with weather when it's that hot. Now it's better. We got storm last night. It's nice and fresh. I'm full of energy, and right now, right after filming these videos, I'm very excited to keep working on my projects. Like, I'm back. I want to stitch, stitch, and stitch more. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you very soon. Next week, I'm very excited to show you the little stitchy hole that I got. And yeah, see you next week. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Enjoy your summer. enjoy your stitching, and I will see you soon. Bye!